Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of Dexter. That is my joint. All right now. That is my joint. All right. So, if you are new here, welcome, 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 welcome. All right. I do TV reviews here right now. Okay. We're going to get into movies one day, but right now we're doing TV reviews. All right. And if you are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Come on now. Give me thumbs up. Like and comment and share and subscribe to my channel. And we will begin. All right now. Ooh. So this is Dexter Resurrection Season 1 Episode 2. Okay. So Dexter's in New York, um, looking over Harrison, but he ain't introduced himself yet, but he's looking over Harrison. But the actual beginning of this episode, it is a guy who catches a Euro car, and that's kind of like a Uber in New York at that time. Yeah, so he catches a Euro car. And so he said, your name is Jack, and he said, yeah. So he jumped in. So the Euro car driver, his name is Stanley Toussaint. He's from Haiti, and he got kids. Okay, so the so Stanley, the Euro car driver, gets a notification from Jack to say, "Where are you? You looking like you driving away from me." So he know this guy is in the back is not Jack. Okay, he picked up the wrong guy, and so once he got that notification, the guy from the back puts a wire around his neck. Okay, and so he can't, he gotta, sit up because he got this wire around his neck. And so the guy in the back says, he asked him, "Who's gonna miss you when you're gone?" And so he was just like, "My kids and stuff." And he said, and so he said, "My children." And he asked, what's their names and how old are they and da 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 da. And so then the passenger said, "Yeah, me and my big brother, me and my brother lost everything because of you fucks." We don't know who in the hell he talking about, okay? But he don't know him, okay, from a can of paint. But we don't know who he talking about. But he said, the passenger said that me and my brother lost everything because of you fucks. And so then it cuts away, and then the next scene, the car is somewhere by some train tracks, and he has been decapitated. Okay, literally his head was in his lap. Okay, so we'll try to find out what happened there. Well, we know what happened. We trying to find out why it happened. All right, so Dexter goes into the employee entrance to get into this hotel. And so he goes and he finds a little badge, and so he's trying to figure out where this crime happened. Okay, he don't know it happened on the 11th floor, but he in the stairwell, literally going to every every floor, opening the door looking for crime scene tape. And so by the time he gets to the 11th floor, honey, he can't even breathe, honey. He can't even breathe. And he just got out of rehab and surgery and stuff like that. Yeah, it bad for him. It bad for him. Okay. So but it happened on the 11th floor, so he found the crime scene tape. So he goes in, and then he looks at the bathroom, and he saw it was a new liner. So he was just like, I guess Harrison wrapped his body in this plastic. And So the detectives come in. So uh, uh, Dexter had to hide in the closet. Okay, so he hides in the closet, and so then he looking at the cops that are on assigned to this case, and he was just like, these are good cops. He said, he got to make sure that Harrison had no hiccups or anything like that, because these are good cops. And so uh, the cop said, he used oxygenated bleach. That's why you can't spray luminol and see the bleach or the blood, because he cleaned it with oxygenated bleach. So the female cop Wallace, Claudette Wallace, she was just like, so he does know something about forensics, because he cleaned it with oxygenated bleach. So then she gonna say that ask the hotel manager to to luminol all of the bathrooms, because since this one is cleaned with oxygenated bleach, then all of them should be cleaned with oxygenated bleach. So if they're not, we need to know what why this one was cleaned with oxygenated bleach and none of the other ones. Okay, she's trying to figure out if y'all use oxygenated bleach everywhere in in this hotel, and if not, then she wants to know why. Okay. She is a good cop. She's very thorough. So uh Harrison goes to babysit Elsa's son, his coworker, and the coworker that gives him rooms to sleep in the hotel, because he homeless. And so he reads Ninja Turtles with him. He's good. He's good with the little boy. So Angel is back in whatever city um, that Dexter came from. He's still in that city, because he don't know where Dexter went. So he talking to the sheriff, talking about Dexter, and the sheriff was like, "Who was Dexter?" He was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Jim Lindsay," because he ain't know Dexter, he know Jim Lindsay. And so he's asking him about his disappearance, but the sheriff was like, "Well, he was free to go. We wasn't holding him hostage. He wasn't a criminal. He was free to go." And so he was like, "Where?" And he was like, "No." And so he was like, does Dexter have a car?" And he said, "Yeah, he got a pickup." And he said, "Well, can you notify me if the car is not stolen? Well, stolen. If the car, if he sells the car, can you can locate a license plate and stuff like that." So, yeah. So, he Angel's on Dexter's behind, basically. So, then Dexter, after he leaves there, he tries to find out where he killed the body. And so he gets into the kitchen. And so he was like, this is probably, where he killed the body, because, where he cut up the body. He killed the body upstairs, okay? But where he cut up the body, he said this is probably the spot. So he was like, "What time the kitchen closed?" Because he's still walking around like he worked there. Okay. He got some badge and he walking around like he worked there. So he said, "What time the kitchen closed?" He said 1 o'clock. So he come back at 1 o'clock, sees a drop of blood on the ceiling where he cut it, and then it flipped up. And so he got that drop off that ceiling, because that that could be, something that the detectives going to want to find out. So Harrison, he has a nightmare about his dad, and so it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. He texts his friend, and so they go get drunk. I think they steal a car. Well, they got the valet in the hotel, so they steal one of these cars from the valet and go get drunk. Okay. Meanwhile, Dexter's car is being towed. Okay. And so he was like, "Well, can I pay you money?" Nope. You got to go down to Brooklyn and to the tow truck company. So he was like, "Okay." He said, "Can I ride with you?" He said, "Nope. You gotta catch a Euro car." So he catches a Euro car. So he gets to the Brooklyn company. He calls a Euro car. And so the driver is named Blessing Kamara. Okay. And he's telling Dexter that there is a serial killer killing Euro car drivers. And so he said he killed 7 people already. So, Dexter's um, Dexter's he is what am I trying to say? Oh my God. Dexter's spidey senses, I put that way. Perked up, okay? About serial killers, okay? Okay. But when he said they call him the Dark Passenger, when they called him the Dark Passenger, oh hell no! Dexter was like, "Oh no, that is my name. I'm the Dark Passenger. No." So now he like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. So the Eurocar driver, Blessing Kamara, he said that one of his friends got away. He said, but he got his ear cut, but he did get away. So he was like, so he saw the Dark Passenger. He said, yeah. So he said, okay. So Dexter was like, well, how do I become a Eurocar driver? And so Blessing gives him his home address and contact. So then he said, also we having a party tomorrow. You can come by if you want to. I was like, oh, they real friendly in New York now. They real friendly. And so when the car came out, their little camo car, their little camo Jeep, Blessing was like, you can't be your car driver with this car. You got to get a normal car. But yeah, so Blessing invited him over to his house. He don't know him from Adam, but he invited him over to his house, and he gonna try to help him become a Euro car driver. Okay, that's what happened. So Charlie is Uma Thurman. See, I had to figure out what her name was. So she in Michigan. Okay, she in Michigan, and she is cutting the funds of the Canton Clubber. Have no idea what this is. I guess that's a serial killer because they got a name, the Canton Clubber. Okay, and so she is cutting off his funds and wants him to disappear. What I think is Uma Thurman is funding a lot of the serial killers. I don't know why. We'll find out later. But she keep coming up, and she keep funding people. So I think she's funding the serial killers. And but the Canton Clubber said, I'm going to go to the FBI. And he was like, and she was like, well, what you gonna tell him, that you a serial killer? And so then he he said something else, and then she beats him with a bat. Okay, so she beats him with his own club. Okay, and so he will probably be never more seen again. Okay, okay, he out of here. Okay. So the cops are still in the hotel, and they're looking at the video footage in the hotel. Okay, they find that Shauna met Ryan in the bar, and then they see that Harrison and Shauna and Ryan were in the elevator, and he was helping him to the room. Dexter meets with a man about a Euro car driver. Okay, so and he said, he meets with the man. So he goes to the party, okay, and get him some free food, okay, and so he meets with the man who says that he saw the dark passenger, and so he said, well, what did he look like? He said he looked like you, and so it was like, he looked like you. Oh my, okay. So, but the man wears a hoodie, and so he had a video of it too, because his dash cam took a video, and so, but in the video you can't see his face and so the daughter, Blessing, Kamara's daughter, said he had what did he say? He had a camera shy hoodie, so that's the reason why you couldn't see his face. So Dexter, when he was looking at the video, he gonna send the video to himself. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but then Blessing, and I guess he is a blessing, because he said, well, my daughter had recently moved out of apartment downstairs. You can rent it if you want to. I was just like, it's a blessing, okay. So he go downstairs, and he said it's free utilities and Wi-Fi. I need to rent that apartment. And he said it's free food upstairs if you come upstairs. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, free food, free utilities, and free Wi-Fi. Yeah, sign me up, partner. Sign me up. So he didn't want to take it, but his dad convinced him that he needs to take it. And he said, because you can't become a Euro car driver if you don't have a if you don't have a address. And he was like, yeah. He said, you definitely can't get a license if you don't have an address. So he takes the apartment, but Blessing's wife said first and last month rent and a security deposit. So he had to pay all of that. Anyway, he also got his driver's license, New York driver's license, to become a Euro car driver. Okay. So he was studying the video, and he noticed his backpack. Okay. And it said Bridge Data Network. So he's looking up Bridge Data Network, and one guy, his name was Ronald Smith, didn't have a picture. Okay. And so he's stalking. Basically, he's stalking the Bridge Data Network, and he sees that he see one person that come out with a hoodie, and he follows them, and then she took the hoodie off because it was a girl, and he was like, oh, that ain't her, that ain't him. So then another guy, he came out, and he had the hoodie on, and so he follows him. So Ronald Schmidt is walking, and he goes to a Euro car driver. And so he was like, your name is Jerry. I don't know what the name was. And he said, yeah. And then Dexter stopped him from getting in the car. He said, no, don't take your car. And so he looked at him and he walked away. And so then he follows him, and he follows him to the subway. And he was trying to get to the subway, but he was slow because he just came out of surgery and he just came out of rehab. And so he had a pain. He couldn't get to the subway, and so the guy left. So then his dad, the ghost dad, was like, he was like, well, what was that about? And so he said he was gonna kill that driver. Dexter said he was gonna kill that driver. And so the dad was like, so you stopped to save him? He said, yeah. He said, that's different, right? That's different from what you used to do in the past. That's different. And so he said, putting everything putting everything on the line to save somebody, not to kill somebody, that's different from what you used to do. And he said, Dexter was like, yeah, I guess, and he said, well, since when? And then the dad was like, so since when you care about other people? And so he said, since now. And he walked up the stairs. And so then he do his little monologue. He said, New York City is a big town, but it's not big enough for two dark passengers, okay? So he said, Ronald Schmidt, his kill table is ready for him. And it went off. Ooh, yes, honey. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. All right, so this was episode 2, people. Okay. Can't wait till episode 3. I did watch it. I have to write my notes on it, but I love Dexter. Okay, so give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.